This is how things work. If you go back 20 years ago, it became politically incorrect to use the word red China. I don't know if you remember that. Then became some years later, it became politically incorrect to use the word communist China. Now we just call them China. It's like calling illegal immigrants immigrants. No, my father was an immigrant. Illegal immigrants come here illegally and not through the system. So, but you would know that by listening to the news. You would think that there's a group of people that are against immigration. I don't know of a group of people. There might be one, but I don't know of a group that is against immigration in general. But I do know, myself included, a group of people that are against illegal immigration. And it's the same situation. And it's the old story. When you say it long enough, people begin to believe that is the history lesson of the day, that America is against immigration, or that America is against a perfectly normal government, just happens to be Chinese government. I mean, that's the perception. And not only Senator Cotton, but so many others. And if we don't, and listen, we only have one shot at this. We only have one shot at this, and the president and the Chinese know this. The only shot we have of doing anything about this is President Trump. I'm not trying to get on the President Trump bandwagon and soapbox here. That's not it. But it's just the facts. He's the only thing we have to stand up to China. Now, if somebody wants to dare try to stand up to China with Joe Biden, forget about the fact that it's laughable. That aside from that, it's so dangerous. It is so dangerous to everything that we stand for. China is the greatest national threat to America. They know more about us than we know about us. And they care about only one thing, their military and their economy. They don't care about anything else. The two go hand in hand. Their aggressive actions in the South China Sea alone should be enough to be a warning sign to most Americans, but it can't be. It can't be a warning sign because nobody knows about it. It's not, the newspapers aren't printing it. News people aren't talking about it. So we get a few leaks out of the intelligence agencies, but it's not enough to teach people. It's not enough to help people understand it. President Trump can't say, but well, I like President Xi. He can't say that. What are you talking about liking? A communist dictator that has sat in judgment of thousands of people that have been killed? You can't say that. It's not, it defeats the purpose of trying to teach American people the greatest enemy that we have. It's the greatest. I'm not saying we can't have a trade relationship with them. I don't think we can. But, if you want to go try to have some sort of normalized trade agreement like the president has done, meaning, we're going to have, we either get a fair trade on both sides, which is normal, should be normal for every country, or we don't have normal trade relations. If you want to try to get that, I think that's admirable. That's fine. But this notion, listen, if I want to move to England, a great, great ally of the U.S., a wonderful country, and I want to buy a house, I got to jump through some hoops, not being a citizen. I can't go there and just buy a house. I got to go through a whole lot of issues to be able to do that. They can come over here and buy a house anywhere they want. I can't buy a house in China. China can come over here and buy anything they want. They can buy a company. They could come over here and buy Amazon if they wanted to. They could do whatever they wanted. And we've allowed that to go on for years and years because they're just a poor developing nation. They have special development status when it comes to their economy and trade agreements and what we're trying to help them. Yes, we were 50 years ago. They don't need our help. And we got to get out from under. I see all these people. There's somewhere in China, there is a company that there are people sitting in front of screens, listening and watching Zoom teleconferences. The government finally woke up and said, we're not doing anything more on Zoom. Hello? It's a Chinese company. They're monitoring everything that's said and done. I mean, hey, if you want to have play a game of cards with your cousins over Zoom, because you're all locked in your house, hey, okay, that's one thing. But for the government or any corporations of any significance doing that, it's nuts. So I agree with you 100%. It's a huge problem. Senator Cotton is right on the money. I pray and hope, and we all need to do this, that he has President Trump's ear, that the intelligence agency, I believe, has got to be aware of all these things. They know about the aggression in the China Sea. We've got to be extremely careful, and we can't be cutting our defense spending. We got to ramp it up. We got to be ready to combat this, and we also have to be ready for the next pandemic. So we better get our supply chain of drugs out of China. We had all these testing kits that didn't work, that gave negative results. They found that out last week. So coming from China, well, yeah. I mean, it's crazy what we do. Hey, remember to click the subscribe button right here on the screen. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified when new content is added. And more importantly than anything, you don't want to miss all 3 live hours of Financial Issues every day from 9 to noon. And you can watch it on FISM.TV. That's FISM.TV.